Alright guys, how's everybody doing today? So I wanted to kind of remake a video that I made back in September of 2022, but I've changed a little bit. When I made that video back in September of 2022, I believe I was just a few months into investing. I mean, it could have even been over a year, I'm not sure, but I was still fairly new, and I explained how do you invest when you don't have money to invest? And if you want to see that, just search through the videos. But again, I want to remake it because I somewhat recently started investing into precious metals. Excuse me. So as a kid, my dad was a coin collector, and I did get into coins and silver back then. Of course, as I grew up, totally got out of it, never really made a hobby out of it or done anything with it until this past November. Now, back when I started buying silver in November, it was around $22.50 an ounce. And as of this morning, it's over $32 an ounce. Even though that's a $10 or a 30% increase, I understand that's not the normal. Don't think that whatever you buy today in 5 months is going to be worth a third more. That's not going to happen. It's not normal. However, I do believe silver is going to go up. We're going to see it go up a lot this year, but specifically over the next couple of years, just because of the supply and demand, plus the price manipulation and some other things. But how do you invest when you don't have money to invest? So I want to talk to you about something I was thinking recently called micro investing. As I said earlier, silver is $32 an ounce as of today. That can quickly change. I mean, it could go down $2 today, it could go up $2 today. I understand not everybody has the money to buy a 10-ounce bar of silver for over $300. It might be hard for you to even buy just a 1-ounce silver round or silver bar, but one thing that's always plentiful is the 90%. Besides being silver, this is also US currency. So no matter what, this is money and it's going to remain money. But the silver in here is worth far more than the coin itself. US quarters from 1964 and before that, they are worth over $5 a piece now. I actually did the math last night, and at spot value or melt or scrap value, each face dollar of 90% silver is worth around $23.15. So that is 23 times what the face says. Which is funny because yesterday we bought some change for the cash registers, and as me and my son was putting the money in the cash register, we each found a silver dime. So instead of 10 cents, we got $2, right around $2.32 a piece out of them. Of course, we didn't sell them right away. They're in this book. But, to buy one silver dime for $2.30, certainly you're able to do that. I know most people I talk to that say they don't have the money to invest, most of them tend to make far more than I do. I got friends that are making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, and they're just, I don't have the money to invest. I don't have the money. And, them same people might play the lottery, trying to win big, or will spend a lot of money on credit cards, which is actually receiving about 30% less for your dollar than if you were to pay cash for it. So it's not that people don't have the money, it's investing just isn't a priority to them. Now, if you want to invest and you want to make it a priority, what I do every payday, whether it's weekly or every 2 weeks or whether it's monthly, buy something to invest every single payday. Whether it's a 1-ounce round or a 1-ounce bar, which I don't have any on the table, or if it's just a couple silver dimes or a couple silver quarters, make it a priority to, every payday, find a local coin dealer, every payday go and buy, a dollar's worth of 90% silver. It doesn't seem like a lot. If you're spending, say, $25 per $1 face value, if you're getting paid every week, that's $100 a month. If you're getting paid bi-weekly, that's $50 a month. But as you buy and as you grow and live and do other things, it's gonna build up, it's gonna add up. Now I don't have a calculator sitting in front of me and I'm not good at fast math, but if you're setting aside $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. That, of course, ain't gonna pay you dividends like the stock market does. However, it's gonna go up and the price of silver is gonna go up. Silver, I actually, when I started with the stocks, silver and gold meant nothing to me. I actually hated it. I thought it was stupid because I'm like, you know, if the shit hits the fan and we're out here trying to survive and people are robbing each other for the food in their house and toilet paper, that ain't gonna mean nothing. I'd rather keep my toilet paper than to trade it for a piece of silver. But in all actuality, they call it God's money when they talk about silver and gold, because this has been used as a currency since the dawn of time. I mean, you're talking over 2,000 years, people have traded gold and silver as currency. So no matter how you look at it, if you research and you look into the history, you'll see that silver and gold is always going to be money. Plus, every currency, every world currency that has ever existed has failed at some point. The US dollar, what we use today, it's not going to be there forever. At some point, that currency is going to fail. When it fails, it typically is going to go back to silver and gold before a new currency is created. That's just how it is. Nobody can make silver. There's only so much of it on this planet, and we can only mine so much of it, and that's it. They set a price, and it's a world price. So that's why I tell my son, no matter where you're at in the entire world, you can buy something with this. And that's why it's very important to me, because you can't do that with paper money. I mean, I didn't want to flip this, but these $2 bills, I could spend them here in the US, but if I go overseas, I can't spend it. It ain't gonna mean nothing to me. Who we got? Jimmy. Jimmy. All right, sorry about that. Let me see if I can pick up where I left off. I definitely do not have the family to be making videos, because no matter what, no matter how many people I tell, don't bother me for the next 15 minutes, someone's gonna call me or walk through the video. But let me see if I can start this over again. Talking about the paper currency. That's good money here in the US. You can spend this everywhere. The only bad side about this. All right, let's try for take 3, shall we? All right, back to the paper currency. $20. Let's go with 100, make it easier. $100 bills US. This $100 today, you know, it only gets you so much, especially now, because over the last 4 years, that $100 can buy you far less than it could have 4 years ago. So this, as I was saying, is 32 bucks. 4 years from now, I guarantee you this is going to be worth over $50. God forbid, even if it is only $32, that's still going to be worth more than this $100 bill. This $100 bill a year ago probably could have bought you $130 worth of stuff, and 4 years from now, it may only buy you $85 worth of stuff. That's inflation, and that's just a normal part of the economy. Now, obviously, the last 4 years wasn't normal. Things definitely got a little worse, but regardless, paper is going to go down in value every single day of your life, where the precious metals, silver, gold, platinum, palladium, they're always going to go up. They might not go up slow, they might go up and down, but ultimately, just like stocks, these are going to go up over your lifetime. But back to micro investing. Even if it's only $50 a month, buy your investments first. It don't matter if it's silver, gold, or the stock market. When you get paid, put something aside before your bills. If you can't make your car payment because you spent $25 on silver, you aren't going to make your car payment anyway. If you're already behind on things, you're going to still be behind on them. That $25 a paycheck is not going to hurt you, but it is going to help you in the future. But here is where I want to explain why this is different than the video I did almost 2 years ago in September of 2022. The stocks, everything I buy in the stock market, I keep track of on a daily basis. It's on my computer. I keep a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet with like my bank account information, money that's going out, money that's coming in. I always know without a shadow of a doubt how much money I have at any given time. It's on a computer, plus my investments, my stocks. I know how much is there. When I made the video maybe 2 years ago, I think I only had maybe $7,000 or $8,000 in the stock market. That went up to, I want to say, like $24,000 at one point. However, I needed some money. We were moving the store from one location to the next. We ended up buying a house. We ended up opening a store in Hermitage and then shutting it down 6 months later. I did not want to take out any loans because I was going to pay extra. So I borrowed for myself and I took some of that money out of the stocks. Now, I really wish I did not do that. But with what I'm trying to tell you now with the micro investing, especially with silver for me, I don't know how much silver I have. I could show you what's on this table. And the beauty of it is each $10 is worth right now $232 a roll for 10 bucks. So 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 1,000. 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 1,000. And then the $5, I mean, there's $3,000 sitting on the table right now. But I don't have this in a book somewhere. I do keep track of what I buy, but I don't have an inventory on my computer like I do with my liquid cash or my stocks that are in the stock market. I know the stocks, if I get in a bind and I need money, with the quickness, I could sell and have that money in my bank account and transfer it instantly, which it gives me a safety net, which to me, sometimes I don't want that safety net. I would rather not keep track of how much I have in retirement, because then I don't know, hey, I could borrow that at any given time. If I have $20,000 in the stock market and I get into a bind and my car breaks down, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna sell a couple $1,000s, go buy a used car with it. When it comes to the silver, I don't always have that number in my head that I can sell it and go get something for it. So it helps me, and I think it'll help you too, to do micro investing. If you're buying just a small amount every paycheck, don't keep good track. Make sure it's safe, of course. Don't leave it around where someone can steal it, whether it's online, digital, or silver, but don't keep track of it. Just keep setting it to the side, let it grow. No matter what, it's gonna grow little by little by little. God forbid you die in 2 years, you're not gonna regret it, because your kids or your spouse is gonna be happy that they're gonna have a little something that you set aside for them. Now my goal, I don't want someone getting rich off me when I die. I want to change my family tree. I want my son to never have to borrow $1 in his life. I don't want my daughter to ever have to worry about money. Hopefully they'll run this business or start their own business, but I'd like to have a nice cushion, and I'd like to have a nice little nest egg for them to start with. So in my investing, I put $25 a week into Robinhood. My wife puts $20 a week into Robinhood. My son gets $10 a week, and my daughter gets $7 a week. Now, those numbers will change at some point, but it's just small amounts because I don't have a ton. I don't have a job where they do a 401k match and they're gonna match my paycheck and this and that and the other. I could set it up, but it would cost an extra couple $100 a month. And if I'm just gonna do it for myself and no one else wants the part of it, it ain't worth it. I could just invest myself. But I'm losing track. I just want to explain how easy it is, and it's never about not enough money. I make very little money, and I'm able to set aside just tiny little bits every week to get saved. Do I borrow it sometimes? I do. Do I sell my silver sometimes? I do. But if I'd never set it aside, if I'd never invested to begin with, I would never have nothing to pull from. So even if I sold all of my stocks today and all of my silver today, I'm gonna get more than how much I paid for it. Again, I've only been in the stock market maybe 3 years, and our stocks are probably up over $4,000. Not as it sits right now, but I do some day trading too, where I sell something for a couple $100 profit and I buy another stock with it. I don't recommend that if you don't know what you're doing with stocks. I really don't even know what I'm doing with it, but I do a little bit of day trading. The only thing I do for sure is never sell at a loss. I know it's going to go up in the future. Every company that's in business is in business to make money and to grow. So for me to sell for any loss at all is stupid, because I know that the company might have had a bad month or a bad quarter, but they're going to go up. They're going to get better. Aside from that, there are those companies that are going to go bankrupt and they're not going to get better. However, if you invest in the S&P 500, that is the top 500 companies in the country, you're not going to fail. Every 7 years, your money's going to double. I should say I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm telling you what I'm doing. But it doesn't matter what you set aside, as long as you set it aside first and you're very consistent about it, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Buy something, silver or stocks or gold, something. Just set it aside a little at a time. You're going to be glad you did in the future. You're never going to get mad at me for telling you this. Now, another thing, as I was saying, I don't really know how much money I have invested in silver or coins or nothing like that. There are certain things I do splurge on that I am probably paying overpriced for. And I'll tell you, just be careful with your investing. If you just want to invest so that you have a nest egg in retirement, or you want to change your kids' future, or set something up for them to have a nest egg when they turn 18 or need their first car or house, stick with buying silver or stocks. But if you also like the hobby and you like to do some buying and trading, you could do coins like this. I mean, some of these pennies I bought, some of them I just found in circulation. This little Nixon penny is probably worthless, I paid $1 for it. Got a couple steel cents, and these are the American Innovation coins. So, I do invest in things that I might be overpaying for, but I'm okay with it, because if money got really tight, I'm not going to buy a bunch of BS coins or paper currency. But I'm always going to be having that scheduled deposit into stocks, and I'm always going to be buying silver, maybe just less at a time if money gets tight. But some of this stuff, I don't even have prices for it. But when you fast forward, if I'm buying these little $2, $3, $5, $10 coins, once a month or once every couple months, when I'm 50, 60 years old, I might be able to take this whole book to a coin shop and get a couple $1,000s out of it. Now, this page, these are $30 a piece. These $half are probably, 15 bucks a piece. And then there's dime, silver, barbers. Here's an error penny. It all adds up. And again, I don't know what I have price-wise in here, and I'm about to do something I may regret in the next couple of days. I want to do an inventory of all the silver and stuff that I have, just to give myself an idea of what's there. I do want to show you something I bought yesterday, and these are one of those investments that may not be the smartest investment, because again, that's worth $232. I could take this across the street right now and get at least $200 for it. Actually, I'll get at least $225 for it, selling it to my local coin dealer. But paper, this $100 bill is only worth a $100 bill. It is U.S. currency, so even though it's 1929, I could take it to the bank and and get $100 for it today, or in 10 years or in 100 years, but I paid $132 for it just because of its age, and I don't want to say condition because it is kind of a rough condition, but I paid more for that because of its age and because of what it is. It's a Federal Reserve note. Now this 20 is a gold certificate, and it says $20 in gold coin payable to the bearer on demand. What that means is when these were first coming out, they're notes. I actually found out yesterday what a note is. It's basically an IOU. You got a car note, you got a bank note, there's all kinds of notes. This, when you got it from the bank, you know, back in 1934 or 28, that's an IOU for money. And if you wanted your money back, you would trade this to the bank and they would give you gold coins of that value. Same with this $10 bill, but the $10 bill is $10 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. Now you cannot get silver at the bank for this anymore, just like you can't get gold at the bank for this, but they are still worth their face value. The government made them, the government backs them, they will always be worth this amount, but they may not be worth the amount I paid for them, only to a collector, right? So collecting this might be like collecting Beanie Babies. Only someone who's willing to buy it is going to pay what you paid or pay you more than that. Where this, everybody in the entire world has the same value for it. And you could sell this no matter where you go. Even though it's US currency, I could take this to China and sell it for 30 bucks an ounce. Or whatever their currency, you know, equals. It's the same, but everyone's currency is worth different amounts. Another beauty of silver versus stocks. Oh, sorry, I'm losing track again. Another beauty of silver, like I said, not everyone can afford a 10-ounce bar of silver for $300+. But if you're collecting 1-ounce rounds and every year you buy 12 because you're only buying one a month, at the end of the year, a lot of coin dealers will trade you head up. You give them 10 1-ounce coins and they're going to give you a 10-ounce bar. People are willing to trade and wheel and deal all the time. I want a kilo. I've never owned a kilo. That's 32.15 ounces. It's like $1,000 or more right now. I don't have that kind of money to just buy a kilo. But the local coin guy I go to said, yeah, I'll trade you for a kilo. Just bring me the same weight, or, I might have to go an ounce over or something, depending on what I'm trading him. Because there's such thing as generic rounds, like that Buffalo. And then there's currency, like that Canadian Philharmonic. And then there's like premium pieces where, like, these are Engelhards. A lot of people like Engelhards, and there's some 10-ounce Engelhards that are going for $500 or $600 a piece because of the low mintage. They have a value on them to the hobbyist that's more than silver. Just like that $100 bill I paid $132 for. No matter what, I will always get spot price for this, but certain collectors will pay more than that depending on how popular the item is, how much was minted, this, that, and the other. And another thing, with this investing, it really bugs me because there are people in my life that I love. I mean, they're my family, they're my friends, and I don't want to shove it down their throats to invest. I don't want to put them down for not investing or put them down for, getting a brand new car, making car payments, running up credit cards and stuff like that. Sometimes you can get in a conversation with someone and they think you're judging them for this, that, and the other, when it's really just, I want to see you do better. You know what I mean? If you add up everything that you're spending money on in the course of a year, and you have a car payment, motorcycle payment, boat payment, everything is bought on credit cards and loans and everything like that, you're paying thousands of dollars a year in just interest. You're paying somebody to front you the money for something, versus if you were to pay cash, you could get it for cheaper sometimes. At the very least, you're going to get it far cheaper than using a credit card or a loan. As an example, last year, my wife needed a new car. We went to a used car lot, and I asked the guy, do you have anything on the lot for around $1,500? Immediately says, no, I ain't got nothing. I said, what about $2,000? He's like, I don't know, let me check. And he's looking on his computer. I don't have nothing. I said, what about $2,500? Which is a lot more than I wanted to spend, but my wife needed a car. So he's looking on his tablet, and he walks us over to a car on the lot. It was a Chevrolet something, I don't know. I drive it daily, actually. Excuse me. But anyway, he said, I'll do this car for $2,500 cash. And then, so we took it for a test drive. Well, I look at the sticker on the window. They have a paper in the window with the year, make, model, and all that. It was on the lot for $5,000. We bought it for $2,500 because we were paying in cash. He tried talking to me 2-3 times about, why don't you just put that $2,500 towards a better vehicle and you can make payments. That's a good down payment. So I don't want a car payment. I can't afford the monthly payment. I can't afford the interest. Anything you pay interest on, you're just throwing that money away. So for $2,500, we bought a $5,000 vehicle. If I wanted that $5,000 vehicle, but I needed a loan to pay it off, I probably would have spent over $8,000 for it. So $8,000 minus $2,500, do you see the difference? If I'm spending $5,500 just in interest, he's not going to give me that same car for $2,500 on payments. He only took that much because it was cash, and he might have only made a couple $100 on it. I don't know. Can you get deals like that all the time? Maybe, maybe not. Can you get deals like that a lot of times? Damn, you can. Damn sure you can. Everything, you know, if someone actually wanted to buy this with a credit card, even a debit card, I have to charge them an extra 3% or an extra 4% to cover the credit card fees. Because when you're dealing with spot price, you don't want to take less than spot price. You have a set price that you need in your head. That's what you're going to get out of it. And if they need to pay with a credit card or a debit card, I'm stuck paying an extra 3 or 4% for the credit card processing fees. I'm not going to pay that. So I have to charge the customer for it. The beauty is there's no tax on it because it's money. Silver and currency, it's money. It's just like going to the bank. You're trading paper money for real money. But, you know, sometimes I get into arguments with my friends or with my family. Sometimes it's just a friendly debate. Sometimes it's no debate at all. They agree with me. They're just like, you know what? I just don't have the money to do it. You know, I want to, I just don't have the money to do it. And sometimes I want to smack them upside the head because it's like, bud, you do have the money to do it, but you don't really want it enough. You know, I guess you could say the same about me wanting to quit smoking. I guess I don't want it enough because I'm still smoking like a chimney. But the fact of the matter is, if you set aside some money first, I don't care if it's $10 a week or $10 a paycheck or $20 a paycheck, whatever it is, just set it aside first before your house payment, before your car payment, before your groceries. If $20 is gonna make you not afford your groceries or your car payment, it wasn't the $20 that you're investing. Your problems are far bigger than that. So even if, I don't care if you're planning a bankruptcy and things are about to hit the fan soon, still set aside something first. Whatever the figure is, even if it's $10 a paycheck, you're gonna thank yourself for it later. And one of the big things about that, because you know, in my last video, I talked about how I was never a good saver. I mean, one time when I was a teenager, I got $40 and $1 bills that I think my Aunt Bobby paid me for working on the farm. And I put that $40 $1 bills in an envelope and I duct taped it shut. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna save this. I'm not gonna spend it. I need to learn how to save it. And I'd be damned if I didn't cut that envelope open within a couple of hours of sealing it up. And I spent it. I don't even know what I bought with it. But I know I can't save. So I taught myself little tips and tricks, like all the Cash App money that came in directly goes into the stock market. Anytime I receive an old paper bill, it goes into the stock market or silver now. When I say old bills, I don't mean like the red notes and the silverback, gold backs. I mean like this one, like this $20 bill, $100 bill. Star notes is another one. I save star notes. Usually I'll turn them into the bank and I put that money into the stock market. Sometimes I put them in the book if they got nice serial numbers or if it's in good shape. But the fact of the matter is I had to force myself to do that. And it started really small, just the Cash App, star notes, and old bills. And then after a few months, it's like, almost like it became an addiction to me to invest, because I seen my money growing slowly, but it was still growing. And that's the beauty of it. Anything you spend money on, if you want to go take a vacation this week, it costs you, $2,000 minimum. You'll never get that money back again. You buy a pack of smokes, you'll never get that money back. The gas you put in your car, the Dunkin' Donuts you bought for lunch, you never get that money back. But when you invest it in the stock market, silver, gold, any investment, I'd say most of the time, because if you're investing your money into starting a business, if the business fails, of course, you're probably not going to get that money back. But in precious metals and the stock market, predominantly those two, you're not going to lose. It's going to grow. And it's going to be addicting, and you're going to snowball it. If you're only setting aside $10 a paycheck and you're watching your money grow, and then you see the dividends from it. Like I had over 800 shares of Ford, and it was $15 per 100. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was bringing in like over $400 a year just in dividends. And I look at my Ford at my portfolio, and I was up like $400 or $500. Plus, I'm getting paid 4 times a year on the dividends, and I'm like, well, I can't go wrong there. But again, I needed the money. I sold a whole bunch of shares. I made a few $100 for sure, but now it's not there growing and making money anymore because I had to take it back out. But this money, even though it doesn't pay dividends, is still going to grow. I mean, as the day goes, as the week, month, year, it's always going to go up. I mean, it's been money since, again, the dawn of time. It's been money for over 2,000 years. So you're not going to be mad at yourself. You're not going to be mad at me. And you're going to be, not only are you going to be glad that you started investing when you did, but you're going to wish you started sooner. They say the best time to invest is 20 years ago, but the second best time to invest is today. With that, I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll catch up with you next time.